discussion item is the highway.
Sorry about that. I thought I turned it off.
We're just talking about it.
Check mine.
Now you got it, so now that's how you know you got it.
Sorry about
all
that.
right.
You saw me pick it up.
I know, I saw you turn, I got you.
Is the Highway Avenue property, which is formerly Godman's Body Shop. As you know, the city has purchased that property with the purpose of tearing that down and basically start off with just using it for parking for downtown, when we have events downtown and whatnot, because of the lack of parking down there. And so, is there anybody got anything on that? This will be just for your approval to demolish the building that's there and clear it off so where it can be paid. That's what we're talking about doing there. Under Rail Depot operations, I don't know if anybody's been over to look, but it's coming along quite nicely. They have all the floors caulked. The floor man's supposed to be in this week, is that correct, Chris? Oh, he is today, okay. And, but about the operations is, we have gotten a couple of lease agreements, one from the Rail Depot in Waycross and one from the Eagle Station over in Patterson, to look and see what all they have incorporated in their lease agreement. And we're working on coming up with a lease agreement for the property. We are, I think next week, we're gonna send out a bid for cleaning after events, to see what that's gonna cost us, see what the approximate price it's gonna cost us for electricity as we rent it out. Because Carl's he has something he can put on there that will show us what the usage will be, so we get an idea about what the cost is gonna be to clean it, what our electrical cost is gonna be, and then try to come up with a set amount to rent it out. One thing that we'd also talked about, and actually input on that, is city residents, giving them a break on renting it, and say $100 off or 10% off, or whatever it may be, whatever we come up with as a final figures for rental. And that's about all we got on that. Anybody got any questions on that, or any comment? Okay, next, everyone should got an email on showing the city park renovations, the proposal of renovating the park. This will not all be done at one time. It'll be done in phases, because, mainly just because of money. We're gonna have to do it as we can pay for it. And this would include the war memorials, which will be placed over on this side in the proposal by the old hanging jail, and renovation down here in this part of the park also. Anybody have any questions
I
on that?
do.
Okay.
I didn't see where the tennis court was gonna be. Is it,
It's not gonna be there.
how come?
That's
We're gonna
it.
put a pavilion on top of it. We're gonna take away all the little picnic tables and stuff like that, and then we'll do a pavilion that'll match similar to the stage. And then most everybody that's playing tennis right now are going to the high school, because their courts are brand spanking new.
There's a bunch of them.
That tennis court is hardly ever used, and it is in rough shape, really bad shape. And so we just thought that it would be better use of the park to provide an open air pavilion for people to do. Down the road we can maybe do a farmer's market, but birthday parties, stuff like that. Just really utilizing that better for the community. But most everybody's going to the high school to play tennis right now.
Most everybody.
Yeah,
It's pretty
there's
rare.
more people that ride scooters and skateboards on that tennis court than play tennis.
Just wondering, I just didn't see it. I just
Yeah.
didn't know. And
So
I
that's what's gonna kinda go in that spot right there.
Anything else? Like I said, this will be done in phases. It's not gonna be all done at once. We'll take it one step at a time as we go through, and to do the renovation. Next is a new license application. Gas Express LLC, which is the old Flash Foods or Circle K going out 121 across from the, Tiger Field. And Chris, everything up to snuff on that as far as their paperwork and.
We're still, we'll have everything by the time it gets here, that it's a little bit different with the way they, submitted their fingerprint stuff, but we'll get all that squared away, and when there's a new online portal that Jenny's having to get used to, and so, but we'll have but everything will be checked out by then.
Okay. Anybody have any questions? All right, anybody on council got anything they'd like to say?
Well,
This time we got.
Real quick, I'd like to, since we're all here, thank Better Hometown and everybody in the city, law enforcement and all the volunteer fire, for the parade. You know, speaking as a Georgia Tech dad, it was still a grand event. Still a Stetson fan, a grand event, and it was, you know, it's something that down the road, you know, next time we win a state championship in football, basketball, cross country, you know, we can throw them all together again. I mean, it did cost, like the only complaint I had, you know, people are going to ask, how much it cost for all that? I think if you did a cost-benefit analysis, it's pretty clear that it was worth it. And anything like that, you know, just want to applaud you for all of the.
Sarah was doing some, helping the chamber members that opened.
Yes.
They made any money, and they, especially the restaurants, I mean, don't remember, everybody really, it was a community event that was positive in every way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I agree with Corey 100%. I thought it was a class act, and I thought it presented Blackshear in a really awesome way to outside of our community and even to our community. And it was an awesome day. So thanks for your hard work there. And for everybody, law enforcement too. There was lots of law enforcement here.
Yeah, this room was full. This room was full. Yeah.
Just so y'all know, in general, we don't want to go down 84 that far.
No.
46 folks to do all that.
Wow.
46 people?
Quite a few.
I have a question. Is this the weekend that our wrestlers go for their competition?
Yes, wrestling state is this week. Yeah, they had
And
sectionals last week.
And they had no coach to get them there, did they?
Well, one of the coaches is doing soccer. I don't know how that worked out.
I don't either, but anyway, I know they're going for competition. I
Yeah,
think they need to
yeah.
be recognized too.
Well, everybody had,
A chance.
every single club and every single sport knew all about it.
Mhm.
Because we sit and Coach Jernigan made sure that everybody knew. So everybody had an opportunity from Patterson, Midway, middle school, high school, everybody.
I know he sent an email to every school. for them
Yeah.
to-
Theater,
A couple of them, yeah. He kept saying,
so.
That's good. I mean,
Yeah.
it was good.
Yeah.
I'm not complaining. I just was wondering if this was the weekend, for sure.
Well, I don't know.
I think it is.
There's nothing else. This time we got Matt Carter from the IDA. We got a lot of new faces on the council. He's just gonna give you a little overview and explanation of what the IDA does, how we work with them, and everything else. Matt, turn it over to you this time.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. I'd first like to pass out, I know each and every one of you deal with individuals throughout the community, get phone calls, questions about different things that go on. I felt this might be a good opportunity. I did it last night with the county commission on making sure that those guys are aware of how our taxes are being spent and how it impacts everybody in the region or within the community. Flipping forward from the first slide into where you're at on the Pierce IDA real estate. Back when I was hired approximately 10 years ago, the front part of the industrial park, if you'll flip to slide number 3, everything in the yellow, which is pretty much between Bob Bowen and Highway 84 around to the boat plant and the former Budweiser facility is what would have been considered the Bowen property. At this point, all of that property, except for the joint partnership with Pierce County, Appleton, Bacon, and Jeff Davis, there's remaining 58 acres up in the front center. That is where rail will be going in the very near future. I'll discuss that a little bit further here in just a moment. But in that same area, there's roughly 350 jobs, 9 businesses that impact Pierce County. And by the way, all of this is actually in the city of Blackshear. Secondly, moving on to the next piece where I had Plum Creek and Georgia Pacific. If you'll flip back 2 slides, you will see everything in yellow. Of that, there is 4 businesses there, approximately 25 jobs impacted. On that same slide, you'll see Beltline Energy on the map. We're still waiting to hear on that contract. We should know something in April of this year, so that may or may not go into solar. The next piece is the 29 acres that you guys have for the inert landfill, so that's put into positive use back to Pierce County residents. Of that acreage, there's approximately 368 acres left available for development. One of the things that I mentioned on there was small lots, back to slide number 2. We had great success over the last 3 years working with folks that are doing business from home, DB Wells, the lawn doctor, folks like that wanted to get away from the house, separate the business and get moving. Great way to start some things that should be here for quite some time. On that same note, unfortunately, due to weather, we have 65 acres that set aside for land cleanup, but rain is a problem. Unfortunately, the front part of that park is wet. We're slowly working on it, on that piece, moving forward. So, moving forward past the real estate section, job creation. In the past 10 years, there's been 400 new jobs that has been added through Stewart Distribution, Ace Pole, who has recently been purchased by Beach Timber out of Alma, Camores, which purchased Southern Ionics over in Offerman, Satilla Bluffs, which is the personal care home it is in Waycross, but Pierce County, Progress Rail, and Steel and Metal Systems right here in Blackshear, where I have listed several added at 20 or better. Mac 44 in Offerman fits that category. IPR or Daystar out of Patterson fits that category, and Southern Eagle in the industrial park. Moving forward over to capital investments. This is an area that definitely benefits the homeowners big time in this area. There has been roughly $75 million over 10 years that's been added to the Pierce County Digest. Stewart Candy being one of the majors, Ace Pole right on down. I'm not going to cover them all, but looking on that list, if you notice the asterisks, the brand new companies recruited was Southern Ionics, Satilla Bluffs, Triangle Ice, which is now Ready Ice in the industrial park, and Inman Solar has got the piece in Blackshear, well, in the industrial park and right here in the city across from UPS. And then last but not least, the Southeast Regional Development Authority that we've been part of for the last 2 years. That has been a major undertaking for the Development Authority as well as the regional partners from Applin, Bacon, and Jeff Davis. To put in a rail spur in the Pierce County Industrial Park is approximately $1.1 million. You go, wow, how did we do that? Well, the switch was $331,000 paid to CSX fourth quarter of 2021. That should be on their estimate within 6 months. We acquired a $500,000 One Georgia grant to put track in the front of the industrial park to connect to the CSX right away. There was a hidden piece that we did not foresee coming with CSX, that they basically pushed 180 feet back to the joint authority. You need to lay that if you're gonna pay for the switch. I don't mind telling you, it's approximately $200,000. So how do we pay for that? We, at the same time, through CSX, was working with Adams Warnock out of Savannah, who specializes in switching for industries at the Port of Savannah, and they install track. We're in the process of putting a 25-year lease together with them. They opted to put the track in the CSX right away and offer us the option to purchase later. In our agreement, when, let's say for whatever reason, rail goes away, we're giving them the right of way to basically put a highway in the park to service industry but not block future development. If that fails, they have the right to take their rail and go. We can own the rest of what's in the front. So at some point, yes, we may have to go back and buy that 200 foot of track back. Back to the $331,000 briefly. The joint authority, the other three communities are like Pierce and Blackshear. At the end of the day, we all struggle with financials. We had roughly $450,000 to put out. We spent $331,000. There's other projects that we want to work on in the other communities. So over the last 3 years, Applin, Bacon, and Jeff Davis has received each community roughly $200,000 from Applin County Pellets. That was a joint venture. They did a 10-year abatement. The abatement is done. So those county commissions are receiving from it. So all three communities committed $36,000 to go back in the joint authority to help carry it a step further. So at the end of the day, there's another $108,000 outside that's coming into Pierce County. So what about Pierce on that piece? We, the development authority, is stepping up, paying for the land development or site prep for the rest of the front of that park moving forward as our behalf. That, and we approved this morning to do the environmental phase 1 for the front section of the park. So at this point, that concludes my presentation, but I'm available for any questions if you have them. There's more of these available. If you have folks that's got questions, please reach out. We're available for whatever the case may be.
Anybody have anything from Matt? Thank you, Matt. We
Thank you,
appreciate that.
Mayor and council.
If no one else has anything else, then we shall stand adjourned.
One thing I wanted to mention, drafted in the park, but our engineering firm did that conceptual plan for no charge to us. Any kind of work.
Right. Anyone have anything else? Oh, go ahead.
We haven't done that ordinance.
Oh, excuse me. If, everyone should have got a copy or email of the chapter 2 of the Code of Ordinances. We're presently going through those at this time. Some things in there are obsolete by state law. Some of them are just outdated at this time. we're trying to go, at the next work session, we'll have a copy of, some of the things that we want to change the wording of, some we want to get rid of, and, what might be they have that.
Possibly, if anybody sees anything that they notice, needs update and change, some of that stuff's like, Adam and I were noticing that, the state laws that are referenced have been repealed for years, and it just needs cleaning up.
Right. And so what you're looking at is the old one. So if anything in there that you think needs to be changed, then, we'll all take that all under consideration when we move forward with the review. Any questions on that? All right, did I get them all down? Okay. All right, there's nothing further than,